This is the 2023 Toyota Sequoia, and it is massive. This is the biggest and most capable Toyota that you can buy. And 2023 marks the beginning of the third generation Sequoia, which got the refresh that it muchly needed, because the last Sequoia is old enough to be in the Smithsonian Fossil Museum now. In this video, we're gonna go through the fuel economy, performance, driving, and the practicality and capability of this truck. Let's get to it. Traditionally, the Sequoia is equipped with a V8, but for this new 2023 Sequoia, they have the brand new 3.5-liter I-Force Max engine with 2 turbochargers and an electric motor. This makes 437 horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque at just 2,400 RPM. The twin turbochargers are equipped with an electric wastegate actuator and water-cooled intercooler. There's a 1.87 kilowatt-hour nickel metal hydride battery supporting the electric motor, which makes 184 pound-feet alone and 48 horsepower. It's all connected to a 4-wheel drive system with a 2-speed transfer case. There's a 2-high, 4-high, and 4-low, basically like any other truck. There's also an automatic limited slip differential in the back, and this Tundra can tow about 9,000 pounds. There's also a few different drive modes, which you can control with this knob down here. There's Eco, Normal, and Sport. All right, let's put it in Sport mode and see how it does. This thing is actually really quick. Plenty of passing power, especially for how big this truck is. It can get to 60 in about 5.6 seconds, which is actually faster than most Econo boxes out there. And the transition between the petrol engine and the electric motors is seamless. You can't even tell when it's switching back and forth between them unless you're looking at the RPM gauge disappear. It's completely seamless and smooth. Gas engine, and you can also hear that turbocharger spool. The frame on the Sequoia is a high-strength steel ladder frame, and some of the panels, such as the hood and the doors, are made of aluminum to save weight. There's also independent double wishbone suspension up front and a multi-link suspension in the back. The double wishbone suspension is something that you normally find in sport cars like BMWs and Porsche, but they've included it in the Sequoia, which makes it handle really well. A part of why it handles well, though, is because of how stiff the suspension is. It is quite busy on bumps, and I don't think it helps with the fact that it's running on 22-inch wheels. But we do sacrifice some comfort for sportier handling, which makes this thing feel really confident in the corners. That turbo spool. Overall, though, this thing feels really refined, and when you put it in normal mode, it becomes a very good daily truck. It's comfortable, it's quiet, it's refined, and we do have acoustic double-pane windows that helps with that. In terms of fuel economy, we do have active grille shutters up front, so it closes more aerodynamic and opens up when you need more cooling. The EPA rating for the Sequoia is 21 miles per gallon in the city and 24 miles per gallon on the highway. We've been averaging 23.7 miles per gallon, which is pretty on par with the EPA rating. The Sequoia comes with Safety Sense 2.5, which has forward collision warning with pedestrian detection. There's also lane departure warning with steer assist, and there's also the full-speed dynamic radar cruise control, which can come to a complete stop. And using that in conjunction with the lane trace assist, you basically don't have to do anything on the freeway. There's also roadside assistance, which picks up the speed limit signs and displays them on your dash, along with automatic high beams. There's also a lovely 360 camera, which you can view while you're driving. You only view the trailer when you're driving, but at low speeds, you can have it automatically come on. You have a bunch of different views, including the curb camera and your 360 camera, and it really makes it easy to maneuver this big truck in tight spaces. The exterior color on the Sequoia is in supersonic red, and this Capstone trim gives the Sequoia a brushed aluminum looking finish. We also have these LED auto leveling headlights with automatic high beams and sequential turn signals. We also have fog lights down here at the bottom, and the whole front look of the Sequoia looks pretty much like a Tundra, since they're basically the same vehicle. Coming to the side, we have these huge 22-inch alloy wheels, which kind of make the ride a little bit harsher. The TRD Pro, however, do get smaller wheels and meatier sidewalls, so in that truck it's probably a little bit more comfy. There's also a power deployable running board and nice iForce Max badging and Capstone badging on the side as well. In the rear, we have this pretty unique boxed off look, and there's a large Sequoia badge that runs right across as well. The whole design looks bolder and more rugged, yet classy and sophisticated. Inside the Toyota Sequoia, it's basically the Toyota Tundra. You got this semi-aniline white and black seats. I like how they made the bottom part where you actually sit on black, and the parts that you don't usually touch white, like the steering wheel, the shifter, are all black. The armrest is white, so this might get a little dirty, but usually you wouldn't touch it. You have a nice and big opening in here. There's a tray that moves back, and you have a nice little cubby up here as well. 2 cup holders. We have a USB-C, a USB-B port, a wireless charger, and we have a physical HVAC control and a massive volume knob. All the buttons are nice and big and easy to touch. Moving up to the elephant in the room, we have the 14-inch display. This is bigger than my laptop. We have Apple CarPlay in here, but this OS that Toyota is using is really good. It looks like an Android Auto unit. The map is powered by Google Cloud data, and it's pretty easy to use as well. It's fast, it's responsive. You don't really need CarPlay at all when you're using this. In the middle, we have a 12.3-inch digital cluster, and there's not really much that you can go through. You have your fuel economy and your music control and your trailer input and brake control. Up top, we have a 10-inch heads-up display. It's nice and clear, not that much information on it except your driver's assistance feature, your gear, and your speed. You also have a drive mode controller over here, and there's a sport, eco, and normal mode that you can select through. Your 2 high, 4 high, and 4 low is also here as well, and a tow haul mode button. You have a completely digital mirror up here, and you can switch it back to the traditional mirror if you don't like it, but the digital one is much easier to see everything given how big this truck is. There's also ambient lighting, which you can't see in daytime, but at nighttime it's pretty nice. And of course we have a JBL sound system as well. There's also this really cool little thing for big cups. And if you look at it, there's a bunch of little Toyota pickup trucks and a Sequoia. I think these are all the TRD cars. In the back seat, we have a massive opening. The door opens almost 90 degrees, and there's a power deployable running board. So getting in and out the rear seats are pretty easy. Lots of space back here, and these seats do recline. Something that you don't get in the competitors is not only heated and ventilated seats in the front, but heated and ventilated in the rear seat as well. Really rare for this class. You do get a 110 outlet, a USB-C, a USB-B, your own climate control system, and sun visors in the back. Pretty much all the same materials in the front is used in the back. Pretty big transmission tunnel. This is equipped with a captain's chair, but you can get the bench seating depending on the trim that you choose for your Sequoia. And we do get the massive panoramic sunroof, which stretches almost all the way to the end of the second row seats. Hopping into the third row is pretty easy. You can crawl through the middle if you wanted to, or you can use this lever, get the seat up, and just get right through. Plenty of space back here as well. Even with these seats like this, you still have a couple inches of legroom and headroom as well. There's also sun visors for the rear seats and a USB-C port, and these seats are powered to recline. And you can also move it forward or back with this lever right here. Plenty of space back here, but if you were taller than like 5'11", you'd probably struggle in the rear seat in terms of headroom, but legroom, you still got plenty. What's cool about the Sequoia is that there's this opening rear window. You can see the camera they use for the mirror back here as well. And behind the third row, you can fit a whole person because there's still 22 cubic feet of space back here. In the trunk, we do have a 110 outlet as well, and these rear seats are power folding. Even with the headrests up, they fold automatically. What does suck about the Tundra though is that third row does not fold flat. It still opens up to 49 cubic feet of space. And if you do need to fold it flat or you need a flat surface, you can just put this tray up and that makes it flat. It's a little compromise, but it's still quite a bit of space. If you do fold the second row of seats down, just leave it like this, you do have a flat loading surface, and there's 87 cubic feet of space when you have both seats folded. The Sequoia definitely delivers on everything that you'd expect. This iForce Max Turbo Hybrid V6 is an engineering marvel. It's quick, powerful, and sounds like a spaceship when it's switching between combustion engine and EV mode. It's practical, spacious, capable, with plenty of tech features and safety. It's a remarkable step towards the future, underscoring the importance of both sustainability and power. That's all, guys. Thanks for watching.